So I didn't really want to be here tonight. And it's not because I don't like all of you. And it's not because it's sometimes intimidating to be up here holding space for satsang. Um, it's because of this moment, because this is the part of satsang, it's the inspirational talk. It's where we're meant to share stories and quotes and inspire. And I have not felt very inspired lately. I also felt like I needed to come here anyway, to show up, to do the hard thing. So this evening, I'm going to talk about the dark nights of the soul. I'm going to talk about when inspiration has left, when I don't feel the light or I can't even visualize it, where egoic chatter just takes over. And I've been thinking a lot about the Bhagavad Gita, and maybe because Jason is here and he taught part of my YDC part of the Gita, but I think many of you have read it. But the Bhagavad Gita is an old text that's about a battle. It's an epic about a battle about Arjuna, and Arjuna is fighting this battle, and he doesn't want to fight anymore. And Krishna comes in and talks to him about why it's important to fight the battle. And the battle is a metaphor for the spiritual path, the spiritual journey. And I find it really telling that a text this old and this spiritual and sacred talks about the spiritual journey as a battlefield. And so similarly in Tibetan and Shambhala Buddhism, how I grew up, there's the warrior path. They talk about being spiritual warriors. So these are examples that kind of show how hard it is, how hard it can be to be human, how hard it can be to be a seeker of the light, seeker of truth. And I don't believe it has to be a struggle. Don't believe that it has to be really, really hard. But in reality, sometimes it is. So I took a paddle yesterday. I went out paddle boarding for a while and just myself and my thoughts. And I was challenging myself to think about what I do in these moments, in these situations where I am spiraling, where I'm in this kind of mental spiral, right? Where I feel like I'm learning those same lessons over and over, and I'm not making progress, and I can't get out of the loop. And so I'm on my board on the water, and I took a moment, and I just recognized where I was physically, that I was at an ashram, at this ashram. And I thought, wow, okay. So there is a core part of me, often not conscious, often subconscious, that has hope. Otherwise, why would I be here? And that core part of me that has hope is that core light, that essence that we talk about, right? That inner light, that inner knowing, the inner guru that is separate than and a part of, but separate than those thoughts and emotions, right? That's that everlasting bit that doesn't get impacted or swayed by the chaos that can be going on in my mind. And I know for a fact that all of you have this as well because you're all here at the ashram. Have decided to spend time and money and travel hundreds or thousands of miles. And you get up at dawn and you show up to karma yoga and you show up to class, and I do the same. And that shows us that we believe on some level that growth is possible, right? That that it's available to us, that we want to seek it, that we want to try, that it's possible. When I feel disconnected and dark and feel like my demons are eating me whole, it was helpful for me in that moment, and it's helpful for me to remember that there is that part of me, that hopeful part that shows that my thoughts and emotions aren't who I am, right? They aren't real. They aren't the ultimate truth. right? My emotions can feel so big and overwhelming and real in the moment, but that they color my perception and they're not objective. And so to remember to bring myself back to that ultimate truth of something beyond. Um, and when I have these kind of internal storms, for me, how I do that and what I need to do is show up. So just like I'm showing up tonight at satsang, I need to show up to the mat at hatha and show up to my practices even when my heart isn't in it, or even especially when my heart isn't in it. I think it's because of many things, but because in these challenging moments, I can see myself on a precipice, and I can see the challenge as as a space where I can use it as a catalyst for growth. When I have these struggles, I can choose to see them as a sign, as an opportunity to level up, to take these moments as ways of leveling up. And I don't always do that, but it's a helpful reminder of why these struggles happen. And for me, the struggle lasts only as long as I resist, which I'm working on. I wanted to share some words from by Swami Radhananda, by her Living in Practice. And she has a whole chapter on walking through darkness. And she writes, everybody holds a fear of what they will find on their spiritual journey, but there will also be signposts to keep on, the railing, the guide, the practices, step by step. Every day, the opportunity is there to step into who you really are. Keep going in. Embedded in each person is this seed of light that nourishes, that vibrates the potential. What is the clutter? What is the fear? Here and now is the time to start the journey inward and keep coming back to that place of light. And I'm really grateful to all of you for witnessing me showing up in all of its messiness and all of its truth. And I am grateful that I get to see all of you show up every day here at the ashram. Namaste.